There is a sixth dimension beyond that which is known to man. A multiverse as vast as eternity, as timeless as the Infinity Gems. It is the middle ground between the big two and the indie publishers, between sci-fi and mysticism, and it lies between the pages of the reader's imagination. At the summit of entertainment, the dimension of comics, where a humble service is held. We call this service the Gospel of Comics.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gospel of Comics, where I am your host, the Church of Failure, and with me as always, except sometimes, is my trusty co-host, Eric. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm a little sick, but I'll be able to just power through today's show.
And that's the reason that we're doing This Week in Comics, because Ayrton can't be bothered to finish the reading material for the week. So, I once again get to blame him for everything.
Of course. Well, because of course we would pick this long-ass, takes a long time to read series while I have to go in on both of my days off this week.
Your connection's being a little bit shitty. I mean, I can understand everything you're saying, but it sounds like you're saying it through basically the worst voice mod in the world. Anyway, we have Danielle Griffith in the chat. By the way, our newest patron. Thank you very much for that. We've got Matt Christie and Novel Bro in the chat. How's it going, guys? Matt Christie's talking about something that's cast iron and 3 foot long, and Danielle, wittily replied that that's what she said, which would be my reply had I noticed it before she did. So, but, that gets us caught up to current. So, sucks you had to go in on your days off, man. That's kind of the worst.
Yeah, it really is.
But fear not, ladies and gentlemen, I do have some Alan Moore content for this week. Apparently, someone on the set of The Watchmen believes that Alan Moore has cast a curse on them, which, if he did, I love him that much more. So, I honestly want to believe that Alan Moore has actually cast a curse on someone, and that it took hold.
I mean, I would assume so.
I mean, they do describe
him as... Is that connection any better?
Yes, it is. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I switched headsets.
They do describe him as a wizard in everything that he's ever been interviewed for. So, you got that going for you, which is nice. So,
makes sense.
We also have X-Men #1 to review. That came out this week. Kind of a long book, 40-something pages. 35, something like that.
It didn't feel like it, though.
Well, it's because of the charts and graphs, man. And the first few pages are pretty sparse.
Yeah.
I will say that the art is kind of lacking, but this is Hickman's X-Men. So, Matt Christie in the chat. I feel your pain, Ayrton. I'm back to work a week early. That's the fucking worst. So, anyway, what should we start off with? Because we've got something. It's in the description. We've got something to talk about. We should save that for a little bit.
It is. We should. I think we should either dive into X-Men or to the article I sent you over in the side chat.
You did send me an article that has absolutely nothing to do with comic books, so it's perfect for the show.
Exactly. But it's this particular article is perfect for our show in particular.
All right. Well, I'll get that then. Why don't you? Okay. Why don't you give the people a brief introduction while I get it loaded up? Because Streamlabs will let you drag and drop images, but.
Oh, just images?
Yeah, just images. Well, just images. More than fucking OBS would give you.
True. So it's Sam Adams releases beer so strong it's illegal outside of Michigan. And it says Michigan because this is a local Michigan media place that produced the story. So we're about to hear about something so alcoholic that it would probably make the Irish blush.
Yeah, you're still you're
Would be
still
my
roboting just a
assumption.
little bit. Let me kick you and join back into the call. Maybe that'll do something. I'm gonna kick him and we're gonna restart the call. Maybe that'll help things. So while we do that, Sam Adams releases a beer so strong it's illegal outside of Michigan. Can you handle it? There you are. Any better?
Oh, how's that?
Much better. At least for the moment. It's gonna go
All
to
right.
shit in a minute, but what
Yeah.
are you gonna do?
Yeah, probably.
So crisp fall air and football weekends require one thing: beer. The stronger the better. But can you handle this? Sam Adams is releasing a beer with such a high alcohol content it's illegal in 15 states. Michigan is not one of those states. The beer, named Utopias, has 28% alcohol by volume, which is, let's see, that'll make it, what, 14 proof, which is only about as much as some wines.
Still, though, for a beer,
Oh, wait, no. Proofage doesn't apply to wines. They go by percentages too, don't they?
I think so. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think the strongest beer I've ever drank was like 13% alcohol. So this is
I've
kind of
had
a monster.
I've had a 14% from my local brewery, and that was rough.
Yeah. So, what is it exactly? A Ruby Black uncarbonated 2019 Utopias is reminiscent to a vintage port or fine sherry, challenging drinkers' expectations of beer. While getting better with age, drinkers can enjoy a portion of Utopias now and save the rest for other occasions. The company says sent a press release. Since a press release, I think, is what they meant to go with there.
Says in.
Oh, says in a press release. Okay.
I think, yeah. That this is actually pretty common for local Michigan press having typos like that.
Oh, well, with your education system being what it is.
Exactly.
If it sounds good, you may want to take a pause. The release adds that a suggested retail price is $210 a bottle. How much volume is this fucking bottle?
I have no idea. I'm gonna click on the Sam Adams link
Yeah,
for
get
that.
details here. Since it was first brewed, Sam Adams Utopias has been nothing short of a labor of love. As brewers, we take pride in everything we make. Oh my goodness, my children are just being reckless right now.
I can hear that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we'll power through. Mrs. Church is wrangling them as we speak. So, a unique extreme beer in the hands of not only a craft beer community but our co-workers, involving new members of our team from Dogfish Head and bottling process this year, signified collaboration, progress, and inspired future innovations that we can't share. Sam Adams, founder and brewer Jim Coach, added in the news release. So.
It's a 25.4 ounce bottle.
25.4 ounce, so it's just over a pint. Or is it a pint? I don't know. 56
bad at
proof,
that.
you double the alcohol percentage measurement. Okay, I thought you halved it for some reason. I thought, apparently it's because I've been drinking Irish whiskey, Matt Christie. So, that is a 56 proof beer, which is, that's pretty intense. I'm pretty sure Jim Beam is only 40 proof. If I'm not mistaken. Or is it 40%?
So it's a pint and a half.
Okay. Jim Beam proofage. Let's see. Jim Beam is the usual whiskey there. Let's see here. Let's see what the Wikipedia says.
The gospel of alcohol.
That is correct. Okay, so Jim Beam's 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. So,
Okay.
So it's about half strength as whiskey.
Yeah.
Fuck sherry, says Novel Bro.
I can't say I've ever had sherry.
So it's who's going to send us all bottles for the show now? I mean, I'm not saying that you should tag Sam Adams and tell them that we just gave them a plug for their new product that's probably illegal in my state. But, you know, because
Oh, here, I can find out.
yeah, down here in the South. I did, but she won't call me anymore. Oh man, oh Novel Bro, if they're charging $210 a bottle, definitely do not buy this and send it to us. I will unabashedly not be able to drink it because of its value.
Yeah, it's illegal in your state.
Jesus Christ, fucking Arkansas.
Yep, Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Idaho, Missouri, Minnesota.
Hey, wait, I learned this song. I learned this song in elementary school. New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York.
New Hampshire, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Oregon, South Carolina, Utah, Vermont, and West Virginia.
Those
It
are
is
all the
not
states it's
available
illegal in. So definitely send me one. Just disguise it as, I don't know, a bottle of whiskey. I mean, that's essentially what it is at this point, right?
Yeah, pretty damn close. Well, see, it's so alcoholic that they couldn't carbonate it because the alcohol content just got rid of all the carbonation.
I'm being encouraged to break the law by doing a show where we drink this beer. Jesus Christ.
Well, no one except me actually knows where you're at.
Take a quick trip to Texas and get some. You know, I've always wanted to move to Texas. Maybe this will convince the wife to move there. The 30% beer, 30% alcohol by volume beer. Can it even be considered a beer at that high of a proofage with that low, like with no carbonation? Like, does it even still count as a beer?
I mean, I think technically yes, because the way it's brewed, it's technically a beer. Because right, like that's how you define different alcohols, is like how it's actually made. That's what differentiates like Scotch and like American like bourbon is what it's actually made out of.
For the evening, I'm actually continuing to nurse a bottle of Kentucky Gentleman, so that's what's on the agenda for this evening. So while we think about that $210 a bottle,
Nice.
Fuck That Shit by Novel Bro, which I wholeheartely agree. I'll not be buying this for myself under any circumstances. If I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'll just get that bottle of like $350 Magellans that the guy at the liquor store showed me earlier this week.
You know, or get how many bottles would that be? Oh, I have to do math. This might take a minute, folks.
Of what?
I
I'm
could get
faster at
8.5
math than
bottles
you.
of Famous Grouse for that same price.
This is true. So, Scythian Strong Wine and Mongol Mare's Milk Ale are supposedly potent as fuck. You know, I've been listening to the audiobooks for Game of Thrones, and they talk about the Dothraki drinking, fermented mare's milk. And I was sitting there thinking, man, that sounds disgusting as fuck. And the more I think about it, I'm like, wait a minute. If you just put a little bit of cream to it, that'll probably taste like Bailey's. If we all send enough ties, you can get it. If that becomes the case, yes. If enough people donate towards the purpose of me buying this drink and getting to a state where I can actually legally procure it and consume it, well, just legally procure it, I guess.
You mean have me buy it and send it to you?
good luck finding a way to send it to me. A lot of places will not ship
I know
alcohol.
people.
Okay. Well, I mean, you
They
don't
don't need to know what it is.
This is true. I mean, but they do check some packages.
Some.
But yeah, I mean, we'll
I'll
drink it.
say it's perfume.
You know, we'll drink it if you guys want us to do it that bad. But that's like $420 if you can find it. You know, if it costs that much,
That
it may
be
be
the other
cheaper.
thing, is finding it.
And paying for it. Hey, shit, that's half my rent payment. Anyway, I'm gonna take this drink now. So,
Yeah.
do you guys want to do X-Men next, or you want to get right into the news?
Or do you want Church to go off on something? I feel like you haven't had enough whiskey yet for that.
That's why I just took that shot. I think we need one more shot before I go off into the second part of the topic for this evening. Let's do the Alan Moore, and then we'll give everybody
let's roll it.
fucking Astros lost. Jesus Christ! Does that mean the Nationals are going to the series against the Cardinals? SJW Spidey.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
The great American pastime of baseball.
Oh.
Let's look at the Alan Moore portion of the show. While everybody catches up to my
Okay, everybody,
bullshit.
get your shots of holy water ready.
So, Watchmen showrunner believes Alan Moore placed a curse on him. You know,
I mean, probably.
I like to think so. Watchmen has begun on HBO, and critics are digging the latest adaptation, which means it's absolute dog shit. So, of the seminal graphic novel, which we are reading to review on this very channel, well, the creator is feeling the love there, but Damon Lindelof thinks he might need to fight off a curse from a strange source. That's right, he thinks he may have to deal with some bad mojo from Alan Moore after his series debut. As fans are all too aware, there is a lot of drama surrounding anything Watchmen. The series of conflicts over the rights of characters, creative intent, and the purpose of adaptation could go on for hours. Moore voiced his displeasure with Zack Snyder's movie when that premiered, has a little bit of resentment left over for Lindelof and company for what they're doing over at HBO. The result is that the man running the new show believes that there is an honest-to-goodness curse following him now. He told Variety about all of his suspicions in a recent interview. He began, "It wakes me up at night, but much less so now that it's done. I'm about to say something very ridiculous, but in all sincerity, I was absolutely convinced that there was a magical curse placed upon me by Alan Moore."
And everyone just like, yeah, probably.
Yeah. So, I saw this and I was just like, we have to look at this. I'm actually feeling the psychological effects of a curse, and I'm okay with it. Now, first off, no, you're not. You wouldn't have given an interview about it. It's fair that he has placed a curse on me, he continued.
I get dive bombed by crows and ravens all the time, but nah, it's fine.
Yeah. You know, fucking plague of frogs outside my door is great. I love it every morning. The basis for
free
this...
frog legs.
You know, frog legs are delicious. The basis for this, my twisted logic, was that I heard that he had placed a curse on Zack Snyder's Watchmen movie. There's some fundamental degree of hubris and narcissism in saying he even took the time to curse me. But I became increasingly convinced that it had happened. So I was like, well, at least I'm completely and totally miserable the entire time. I should be. What the fuck? This guy just sounds depressed. Somebody get him a fucking, like, friend or something. Jesus Christ.
Get him a bottle of Sam Adams Utopias.
Yeah, no shit. Can I buy this man a drink? Where's his bar at? Let me call in his tab or something. Fuck. Lindoff concluded, when Zach was making Watchmen, and I only knew this because I watched the DVDs, I was like, this guy is having the time of his life, and I did not enjoy any of this. That's the price I paid. Psychological professionals would probably suggest that I emotionally created the curse as a way of creating a balance for the immorality. What? What are you...
That's why psychology is a bunch of crock.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Right?
No, you know. What are you gonna do? I'm trying to get the fucking cursor to work here, but it just seems to make the one seems to want to make the window bigger. All right.
Huh.
Well, it seems positive press comes at a price. People are enjoying the take on the world so far, even though, you know, nobody actually was looking forward to this. And I've yet to look at the reviews, but I don't think they're that good. Even though there will always be fans who object to anything being added to the source material in any way, that's because there's enough of the fucking source material to do 5 seasons of a fucking TV show. This current version doesn't seem as strange or to have attached strong reactions as when DC introduced Doomsday Clock. Even so, look for the debate to heat up. Well, let's just take a minute and say, DC owns the fucking source material. Therefore, when they add to it, it becomes more source material, you fuck. Sorry.
Let's see. On Rotten Tomatoes, and it just disappeared, it has a 93% critic rating and no audience rating.
Of course it doesn't have an audience rating. Let's see here. Who the fuck buys a 26.4 ounce bottle of perfume? What the fuck? Fucking Astros lost. My rent is cheap. It's really not considering my location. Not yet, says SJW Spidey in regards to baseball. Astros only need to win 1 game in the series to go forward, which is what I'm pulling for at this point, because who the fuck wants to pull for the Cardinals when Mark McGwire doesn't play for them? Him and Jeff Johns, they're both Wizards, that is correct. Series is supposed to be a direct sequel to the book, which I'm not okay with, because there's like a white supremacy group of Watchmen, or of Rorschachs or some shit. I'm not okay with that.
What?
Alan Moore would do anything for esoteric clout, which confuses me, because then where does Doomsday Clock fit in? Exactly, SJW Spidey. That was the point that I was making. He needs some happy juice, aka morphine. So there's lore behind this, by the way. So that's where we are so far. But yeah, so Alan Moore is cursing people, so look for the debate to heat up anytime he speaks in the series going forward. The conversation never stops around Watchmen. And then there's a playlist, and I think that's about it. Let me double check. My fucking interaction window just closed.
So once we're done with Alan Moore month, we need to take down every single stream so we don't get cursed.
Oh no, I welcome the curse. Just like that guy did. After the Connery League movie flop, Moore swore off movies and then swore up and down that he intentionally wrote a story that could only be told on comics. Well, that's why they changed the ending, I think, and they didn't include the auxiliary material, if you will. Rotten Tomatoes won't appear on live TV from fear of getting constant hold up at every dumb review they make. Hey, you don't like it when the wheels fall off. We don't. Sorry. But no, the things that we're missing out of the Watchmen movie as opposed to the Watchmen comic, there's an entire sub-story that takes place between a kid at a newsstand and a comic book about the captain of a ship that's basically doomed from the very beginning. There's excerpts from Hollis Mason's book. I mean, there's so much auxiliary material in the actual Watchmen comics, like, just stuck in there. I mean, Rorschach's journal, like, you hear his thoughts throughout the movie, but Rorschach's journal is 90% of the narration of the actual comic book.
Right.
Oh yeah, the squid monster. Yeah, they took the ending out, the squid monster, and they just made it a nuclear attack because, well, that's what Dr. Manhattan was capable of. But that was Alan Moore's. Honestly, I think what he was referring to when he wrote a comic book that could only be told in comic form, he was talking about Neonomicon, because nobody's going to put a fish dick on the main.
I mean, that would work as an HBO series, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the squid does need the Black Freighter to work. You're absolutely right. The Black Freighter sub-story, which is a comic book within a comic book, so it's super meta. But
Comicception.
yeah, without the Black Freighter story, the squid monster that encapsulates the world, even though it shows up dead, is, basically the difference between the nuclear attacks that take place in the movie. So spoiler alert for those that are tuning in to our Watchmen review, it ends differently than the movie does, with a giant squid, which is Alan Moore's fetish, I believe. But
his fetish, or just how he grew up?
well, is there a difference really? I mean,
I guess technically not.
I mean, is there truly a difference? How you grow up is pretty much what determines your fetish. Moore lives by, this is too ludicrous to be put on screen in motion. That's pretty much what I live by. So let's take this time to jump into X-Men #1. He underestimates Hollywood desperation. Yeah, like I said, what's his name? Robert Downey Jr.'s Doolittle. Sherlock Holmes 3 looks weird as fuck.
I thought he was a horror. I hated those movies. They're so bad.
What, Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah.
You want to disagree about some shit? We'll do that right now. Those are fantastic movies. They just weren't good Sherlock Holmes movies.
Okay, yeah, they were good movies, but yes, like, sure, Sherlock Holmes is a dick and a bit of an asshole, but he's not like
a super slow-mo fighter. He's not a Matrix fighter, and he can't slow time down at his whim.
Right.
But yeah, he's doing Doolittle right now, and I saw the trailer for Doolittle, and I was just like, Sherlock Holmes 3 looks weird as fuck, yo. So, here we go with my second shot of whiskey on the show, you guys. Cheers to all of you. If it's anybody's birthday, here you go.
Sure, it's somebody's somewhere. Just nobody was born on the 18th.
That's correct. So, X-Men #1. You picked this up. First thing I want to point out is I really think they should have kept the House of X or the Powers of X artist on X-Men.
Yeah.
The cover looks like dog shit.
Yeah, there's I don't know, there's a weird, like...
It's almost like flat.
I don't know. Yeah, I was trying to figure out the word, but yeah, just...
SJW Spidey, thanks
the
for stopping
colors
by.
look off.
If he's in some more Weeb Wars shit, feel free to stop back by over here. If not, just throw a like on the stream before you leave.
Yeah,
And he's
smash
gone.
that like button.
But it feels flat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you've got the three Summers brothers. You've got Cable. You've got what's his fucking name? Corsair.
I don't know how to say it.
I forgot his name. So terrible. I'm so bad at this.
Let's see.
He's the leader of the Starjammers. I know that much. I think his name's Corsair. I mean, he's the Summers' father.
Yeah. Well, where? I know it says it somewhere.
Are you sure it's not just where they say his the name of his ship? Because that's where I got. That's where I got Starjammer.
I mean, it's possible. I don't know.
Oh, come on.
Anyways.
I believe his name is Corsair. I'm going to have to verify this before we go. Why don't you give your thoughts on it before we get into it?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. I can't necessarily say that I loved it. I
It's
definitely
Corsair,
enjoyed
Christopher
it, especially
Summers. Major Christopher Summers,
Okay.
U.S. Air Force. I knew I was right. Yeah, it's just Yellow Flash and Tug regurgitating old opinions. Unfortunately, and this is not a shot at Yellow Flash and Tug, but that's kind of what they do. I mean, you know, I hate to say it, but since the Vic Mignogna thing popped up, like, anybody that covers it, with the exception of Nick Rekieta, has just kind of gotten stagnant on that content. Like, I understand that it's important to a certain community that holds a lot of clout on YouTube, but Mandy's stream is a bunch of middle-aged artists awkwardly trying to flirt. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. I don't know anything about her. Wirt the Wizard seems interesting, but not my cup of tea. If I can get my hands on a copy of it, I will, but it's not on the top of my list of things to review. And I'm kind of discerned by anybody who has to promote by using cleavage and provocative, imagery to sell their book.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll absolutely promote it if she wants to come on the show. I have no problem with that. And anybody hustling the way that they can hustle is fine. It's just not for me. I'm
Just
a
not your
grown
cup of tea.
I'm a grown married man. What am I doing thirsting over a thought on the internet, right?
Right.
I mean, no offense, Mandy, by any means whatsoever, but anybody that provocatively poses to promote their own gear kind of constitutes being a thought, right?
Right. I mean, that is the definition, yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, as much as my heart, like, goes out to indie creators and all that good stuff, like, I'm just getting so disenfranchised with the people that I feel like are actually grifting. Like, the meme is that Rekieta is grifting, but I don't know, man. Like, there's too much. She's the Tokyo Rose of CG. Jesus Christ, that JW Spidey. I don't know how many people get that reference, but Jesus Christ. Second prettiest is EVS, probably. Fuck you, it's Cecil. Cecil is Bay. Hello. How can you not love that voice? Anyway,
Especially drunk off his ass in a cab in New York City.
wait, he's not always drunk off his ass?
Oh, well, specifically in the cab.
Okay. So, I forgot about Martina. I don't know who that is, but definitely. Anyway, yeah, X-Men #1 came out this week. Jonathan Hickman's the author. Did you finish giving your thoughts on it? Like,
No.
I felt like you spoke for a second and then stopped.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it. I didn't love it like I did House and Powers, but I definitely kind of like I like how it's transitioning over well. The beginning action piece with Cyclops and Storm, I really like that. Them kind of going after kind of the remains of Orcus from the mother mold that they were making on the.
Oh, you're talking about the Forge?
Yeah, where they were, and then they bring in Magneto, and a bunch of scientists turn themselves into gorillas. And one of the best lines. Oh, where is it? Oh yeah, So Magneto shows back up after he tells Cyclops and Storm to keep going. He'll handle the gorillas, and then he shows up to where they are rescuing a bunch of mutants. And where's that line? Well, he says Cyclops goes like, "How'd you do that so fast?" And he says something to the fact of, "Oh, there it is. The evolutionary throwbacks retain just enough of their humanity for things to quickly become tribal, and I asserted my dominance. It didn't take long for them to turn and run." Like,
Whew. Okay, so SJW Spidey just put this in the chat, and I feel like that I should let everyone know. This this is
what is this?
This is Martina. She's apparently doing a book.
Huh.
But not bad. Not you know. Wait, do I need to do the screen share? You need that, don't you? There you go. I'll do that for you.
I don't even have Skype pulled up at the moment. I have the string pulled up for the chat.
Is or was writing Lady Alchemy. I haven't heard about that book, so I don't know. I know that. Oh wait. Galactic Rodents and Mayhem. Let's see where that's at, because this is the last day for it.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh shit! It funded. It fucking funded.
Did it?
101%.
Shit.
5 hours left to go. Everybody go back.
Yeah.
Galactic Rodents of Mayhem. Holy fucking shit! How did that happen?
Man.
Oh my
Seriously?
god! Yes, it was 4,000 behind today. I was like heartbroken. I'm backer #1 on this book that's fully funded.
Fuck.
It makes me so
Hell
happy.
yeah.
Don't
Oh,
dox
that's
me,
awesome.
Gilbert. We're gonna throw it in the chat. There's 5 hours left if you want to get this book. It's definitely gonna fucking happen now. Holy
Yes.
shit!
Yeah, when did that happen?
Oh my god, it's 101% finished. I'm sorry. I need a moment. We're gonna take a drink in honor
Yes.
of Galactic Rodents of Mayhem finishing, everybody. So pour one out
to
for Gilbert Deltrez.
for pulling this off. Holy shit!
Go make a thing about it on Twitter. Absolutely. I'm gonna do that before I take my shot. Thank you, SJW Spidey. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Ayrton, go make a thing about it on Twitter, and I will repost it.
Yeah.
Tag me in it, and I will retweet it, and I'll lose my shit on Twitter too. I'm sorry, you guys. It makes me so happy. I was so worried about this book. It's one of literally literally the only two Comicscape books that I was ever worried about getting funded and being funded. No disrespect to anybody else, but literally the only two I was ever worried about was Monster MD and Grom. Because out of every comic book I've ever seen, those two weren't statements. Except to the fact that comics are a medium that deserve to be recognized, and they got the least amount of attention until someone noticed, apparently. I guess maybe Caesar. I don't know who did it. I'm going to dig into that. That's going to be the main topic of tomorrow. I'm going to reach out to Gilbert. We're going to try and get Gilbert on this weekend at some point because we need to.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, let's go ahead and get that pulled up on stream here. Here we go. Done and done.
Oh, come on.
There we go. Galactic Rodents of Mayhem. 102% everybody. So go back this book. This definitely 100% fucking funded. That's amazing. Makes me so fucking happy. Shinobi Sasquatch is probably my next back.
All right, the tweet is out.
All right, I'll go signal boost the shit out of that right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that is. All right, I'm gonna retweet with comment.
Man, yeah, we definitely. I want to get him back on. I want to hear how
I told him to get on the gospel this weekend to take your victory lap.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. Everybody go check out mine and Ayrton's Twitter. Promote that post, everything.
Yeah, we got
this
5 hours.
This guy fucking earned it. If you want this book, you'll not be disappointed with it. SJW Spidey, Shinobi Sasquatch definitely is my next, my next investment. We're just we're trying to get past some bills and get the show upgraded a little bit, but
yeah,
once we get there, if nothing else, one of us will back that book. But I'm so happy for Galactic Rodents of Mayhem. Like that literally, it's the bread and butter of this show. What was it? Adolescent Radioactive Black Belt Hamsters. We got Don Chen on. We got Ken Meyer on. We did Cyber Frog, but you definitely bring Gilbert back. Everybody go retweet my tweet and get Gilbert back on the show this fucking weekend. Do a victory lap.
Yeah.
I mean, we need him on to do a victory lap, but I'll take my third shot of bourbon this show, and I will cheers to Galactic Rodents of Mayhem being fully funded. Mrs. Church did some fan art for it. If you guys saw that, it was pretty fantastic.
I did see that,
and all of that will be culminated and printed and immortalized in a book that will be on my shelf. And, it'll be such a great day. But I am so fucking happy for Gilbert Deltrez right now. Because I can't think of anybody who deserved this more than him.
Oh, yeah. He was going at it hard, too. Yeah, he was, like, as far as, like, the whole promoting, like selling not just the book but selling himself as a creator that is worth backing for this book. Like no one was better at that than he was.
Oh, we'll
in the Indiegogo.
Novel Bro, just to acknowledge Novel Bro in the chat. We're actually going to give him a standing ovation the moment we start to stream with him. And that's not even a joke. We're literally going to stand up out of our chairs and give him a standing ovation.
Yeah, you won't be able to see it, but you'll feel it.
That's the most fantastic news I've heard all week. Like I was a little bit disappointed when I thought about bringing it up, but I wanted to give him a final push. But maybe it was EVS, maybe it was somebody else in the community, but somebody got him above $15,000. Somebody got him $4,000 from this fucking afternoon,
Yeah.
and that's amazing. Like, whoever did that has mine and Ayrton's eternal fucking gratitude. Like, that is
Yeah.
abso-fucking-lutely just the best thing ever.
I am so excited.
I am too. It's gonna happen. It's not gonna be broken down into 3 issues like he was worried about having to do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna...
Ben
Ben
Lutz in the chat.
Oh,
When is
Ben-
the Comics
Ben.
Explained news coming?
Oh, Ben, we'll do that right now if you want to, buddy. We'll transition right into that. We just had a really high point. I'm sorry. We were we'll take a
We were
break
talking
and
about
talking
X-Men
about
and-
X-Men. But yeah, we'll pull this up. So, Comics Explained made an oopsie. Rob from Comic Explained, who, again, and I don't say this in jest, I don't say this with a double entendre, do not harass this man. Do not tag him, do not bother him, do not bomb his, nothing. And I don't say that in the, Ralph Retort sense of definitely don't. I literally, like,
leave him alone.
In our name, do nothing. This is a show about comic books, but he put out a tweet earlier, and it says, in the age of smartphones and tablets, I don't really understand why so much emphasis is put on keeping physical comic book stores alive. And, it's got 500 likes and 22 retweets, but you notice this 585 comments right here. That's what the good old people of Twitter like to call a ratio.
Right.
So, let's just take a look at what that ratio is all about, right? Well, Comic Storian says, this screams out of touch with the community. I'm a huge advocate for more of the digital market and argue that stores need to adjust and we need to get them more into more outlets. But I've never said stop print. Print is a community, browsability, and the heart of the media. This is art. It deserves print.
Aren't those two, like, friends?
Well, they're both huge YouTubers.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I don't have Ralph's reach. No, definitely, but I don't want it to be misconstrued that when I say don't bother somebody that I'm saying go bother them. I understand, but, even the 6 people that are viewing right now, like, I don't care. I don't want anybody bothering Comics Explained over this. Like, he just had a bad take. But I've been in physical comic stores for over 30 years. It was probably one of the few places that I ended up once I was, out of the hospital or whatever as a baby, because my dad was a comic book guy and a sports card guy. And to find somebody with almost 2 million YouTube subscribers who made his fucking bones on comic books to say that why we put so much emphasis on keeping physical comic book stores alive? Motherfucker, that's a shit take.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I love your content. I love your breakdowns. I love everything that you've done so far. It's made stories that I'm never going to read much easier to understand in continuity. But let's just be clear. Physical comic book stores are the bread and fucking butter of this industry. Digital is never going to hold the industry. If we move to a solely digital medium, within 10 years, the medium dies. Within 10 years, DC and Marvel fold. Actually, within 2 years, DC and Marvel fold. Within 10 years, all of the independent publishers die out in favor of other mediums.
Right.
Without the advent of physical comic books to be on shelves to sell fucking units, the medium dies. Your hobby goes the fuck away, and so does your goddamn livelihood. You make almost fucking $150,000 on average on YouTube talking about comic books, and you're trying to get rid of physical comic book stores? What the fuck are you doing, buddy? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
no there's no way it can sustain being only digital.
No,
especially because they're not going to lower the prices.
No,
this X-Men comic I picked up was $4.99.
Yeah, and the digital copy on ComicsExplained was fucking $4 or $3.99 or some shit like that.
Right. No one's gonna spend that for something that they don't actually
that they can't hold in their hands.
Right. I would never. I won't even rent. I barely like renting Redbox for $1. I'd rather just go buy the movie.
I have a Redbox account for the fucking discounts. No bullshit.
Yeah.
I have a Redbox account for when they give you a fucking, free rental or whatever, but I don't spend money on it.
Fair enough.
But, no, I mean, I'm agreeing with you.
But there's no way this medium can last like that. It's about having them. What are you gonna? Sure, having a digital collection, is handy.
Yeah, it is.
Takes up less space.
Here's the thing.
But
like, what happens when
that?
Yeah, what happens when Amazon decides
that hard drive crashes?
Well, what happens when ComicsExplained decides that when Amazon decides ComicsExplained is a fucking net loss?
Right.
All the comics that I bought on ComicsExplained that I couldn't back up or didn't think to back up before they shut the server down, well, they're just gone. I had this conversation about Blizzard last week. A lot of people are taking investments of Blizzard, and they're saying, oh, well, what about Diablo 3, or what about Hearthstone, or everything like that? Like, people have put money into these games. And if the servers just go down because the market share goes away because they're not keeping China happy, well, we're just shit out of luck. These online-only games, they're shit. And so is online-only fucking comics or whatever else. But, Spoopy Teeth J, a.k.a. at Parks J, says, I can't put a digital trade paperback on my shelf. Guys, it's fine that people like digital books. I use Marvel Unlimited a lot. So do I. When I buy something, though, I buy it to own it, which is 100% true. I used to go on my lunch break and buy a trade paperback out of the discount bin so that I'd have something to read over the next week. Sign up for the app and get comics hand-delivered to you every week. Perhaps set it up where you can specify what time deliveries happen so you'll be there. Thoughts? That's, Brian Licata's innovative idea, quote-unquote. But Peter Samedi replied, and that's the main... That's the main reason that I looked at this. He said, I'd be happy to help you understand. And has Captain America sitting down in a chair to explain to you why comic stores are fucking important.
That is the perfect gift for that response, too.
Cap. So you don't understand why paying $3.99 to read a digital file uploaded to a server is ridiculous. If I'm paying that much, then I want to hold the pages in my hand. I want to know that I have access to it for fucking ever. Also, I like the experience of going to my local comic store and talking with people about comics. You made that point within the first 3 weeks of doing this show when I got you into a local comic store for the first time in how fucking long?
Yeah.
Like, how long had it been since
probably
you stepped
10
in?
years.
Okay. But doing this show, I convinced you to walk back into your local comic store and start a fucking pull list, didn't I? And develop a relationship with a local business that was making bones on selling comic books.
Yeah, and it's, it's one of the highlights of my week, really. I'm like, damn, why did I stop doing this? And I remembered, the one that was closed down. But
oh, that meme almost killed me. When asked if digital comics would replace comic books, Stan Lee replied with, "Comics are like boobs. They look great on a computer, but I'd rather hold one in my hand." Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's fantastic.
Isn't it, though?
I
So,
love that.
I mean, we
I feel
got
like
a
that is
ratio.
something Stanley would say, too.
I mean, yeah, definitely in the 70s. But that's pretty much my hot take on Rob from Comics Explained. Like, I felt like he had a lapse in reason, and I can't find a single reply from him in this thread. And looking at his Twitter, and looking at the multiple Twitter profiles that he has like 3 Twitter accounts. This guy is a social media genius. Okay? And this guy is a wealth of comic information. However, this is what he makes his bread and butter on. Like, this is what he makes his living on. He doesn't work a real job that I can tell. This is his, and I don't mean to take that away from YouTubers or content creators or anything. Like,
right.
I mean, honestly, it would be great if Ayrton and I could make enough money on this show that we don't have to work anymore. But
yeah,
that's fading. And, if physical comic book stores ended, so would digital comics, Rob. Your job would go away.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't make almost $150,000 a year anymore talking about comic books because there wouldn't fucking be any to talk about, you fuck.
And you can only cover back issues and storylines for so long till you run out of them.
I only bought digital comic issues in my town because I don't have an LCS. Now I just buy physical trades online. Exactly, Ben Lucas. Exactly. Like,
yeah,
that's a real thing. And this was such an out of touch. And honestly, I don't understand why he made this tweet. Like, he's got over 1 million, almost 2 million fucking subscribers on YouTube. He has 45,000 followers on Twitter. And I can't understand how he could get so out of touch in understanding that the local comic store is the lifeblood of this goddamn medium. Like, a local comic store has the potential to create business for digital comics. I walked into a Walmart around Christmas last year with a buddy of mine, right? And what's the first thing that I see when I walk in the door? Besides someone in their underwear wearing one sock and a shoe and a boot.
You were at that Walmart too? Man, I didn't think I'd see anybody I knew when I went out like
that.
No,
those were definitely two different Walmarts.
All right.
But the first thing that I saw when I walked in there product-wise was stocking stuffer digital movie passes.
Oh, jeez.
They were basically a fucking QR and link code for someone that wanted to give someone a copy of a movie for their Vudu account.
Right.
in their stocking. And you know what I thought when I saw that? Why the absolute fuck aren't these available for 75 cents on the dollar to comic stores?
My thought would have been, though, what's with this weird push of not actually owning shit anymore?
Well, here's the thing. You don't have to have it like that. Well, no, you don't have to have it like that. Like, if you move to a digital-only format, then you should obviously be able to back up your purchases, just like you can on Vudu. If you go on Vudu, you can download a copy of your movie.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, you can download it to your PC. But you can't off of Comixology or Marvel Unlimited. So why the fuck don't we just change the market and set it up where if you buy a digital copy, that you can back it up to your hard drive? Piracy's gonna fucking happen. I can take a scanner, I can spend 30 minutes, I can upload the shit to a fucking, I don't know, a torrent or a website or whatever, off of a physical comic book, and I can share that comic book with the world for free. For $4.
I mean, technically, you could just screenshot on a tablet or something, too, couldn't you?
Absolutely, but if I wanted to make something halfway decent, I can scan every page in high resolution and upload it to a fucking CBR file and put it on a pirate website or a pirate torrent site and share it with the world for nothing. If you print a physical copy. If you print a digital copy, I can share it that much easier because I don't have to scan it in.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you're going to sell digital comics, they can't cost as much as a physical copy.
No, not at all.
They can't be as cumbersome as a physical copy. And you have to be able to back the shit up.
I mean, look, you know, Alternative's selling physical comics for $1.50.
Right. You can't sell a digital for 99
Why
cents.
is a digital comic $3.99? Fuck you, Marvel.
Right. You can't sell a fucking physical copy or a digital copy for 99 cents on Comixology.
Right.
And 50 cents for Marvel Online with a subscription. That's your goddamn model, right. Marvel. $6.99 a month for a subscription. 50 cents per new comic. Delivered at release on Wednesday at 7 a.m. You get... You know what? Release them on fucking Tuesday for subscribers. That's what you do.
Yeah, Tuesday night.
And if you have a subscription to it for 50 cents a fucking month, or a week, or whatever they come out, then they're there for 50 cents right. On the goddamn dollar, on top of the $7 you're charging for the fucking subscription.
Right.
That would make me buy 10 comics a month for Marvel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would try out way more Marvel comics.
I would absolutely spend $12 a month on Marvel comics if I got a $7.99 subscription for back issues that were over a month old, and a 50 cent release date copy on whatever I was subscribed to.
Yeah.
Digital plus Apocalypse. Dead and Data never existed. Physical plus Apocalypse stays around as long as humans do. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I'm about to. Actually, I'm gonna hold off on that until we get into our news cycle. I'm not gonna take that fourth shot yet. Even I am not a champion in that regard. I'm a champion, just not in that regard. I know my limits. But yeah, that's that's pretty much the segment on Comics Explained, Ben, if you're still around. I think the guy's out of touch. I think that if you don't respect the physical comic market, like, it's one thing to be Comicsgate and not have an outlet to the physical market yet. It's another thing entirely to be a fan and to shit on the physical market. Like, it's
Yeah.
another thing entirely to make your livelihood off of comic books and to shit on everything that they are. I just
I wish we had some inkling to as where this tweet came from.
Right. Like, what the fuck were you thinking, dude? Like, your entire audience doesn't seem to appreciate any of. But
And you got called out by Peter Smetti personally, so
right.
that's not a good sign.
Well, I mean, I wish we got called out by Peter Smetti.
Well,
Peter Smetti.
but in a good way.
No, fuck that. Peter Smetti. Get on this show, buddy.
Please.
Please, huh?
By the way, I dug through some of the dollar boxes this week. I found a few alternate comics in there.
Well, that's where they belong because that's what they cost. So that's Rob from Comic Explained making his oopsie. So
That's putting it mildly.
Well, when you get ratioed on an account that you don't even respond to, Jesus Christ, liquor hiccups. But yeah, when you get ratioed on a tweet that you don't even respond to, that's pretty bad.
Ugh.
So do we go back to X-Men now and let you... Jesus Christ. Let you finish your thought?
Oh, yeah. I'll finish up my quick thoughts and overview. What was the last thing? Oh, yeah, the monkeys. That was the last thing that I brought up.
Let me pull those up.
Yeah, well, he does that. Circling back, the Orcus scientists turn themselves into monkeys. Magneto asserts his dominance, as he puts it, to defeat them, which I assume just means he slapped them in the face with a metal dick, right? Like he made a dick out of metal and then just smacked the leader in the face.
That's what I would do.
All right. But then we go over, we have Cyclops, Storm, and Polaris, Magneto's daughter, who has similar powers, rescuing a bunch of mutants from stasis tubes. That's the word. And there's this weird chick who's, she's looks like a shadow almost, and she starts to disappear, and I just have this feeling that she's going to come back at some point later. And you mentioned the art is a bit lacking compared to...
She's a post-human.
Yes, thank you. So you said you felt the art was a bit lacking, which I could see that. But this chick, I thought the contrast between her and the rest of the scenery was really cool, personally. But
You haven't read East of West yet.
no, I haven't.
Her character design is almost stolen. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. So they bring all these rescued mutants back to Krakoa. Cyclops and Storm have a conversation about how they're tired of fighting, but they're going to keep it on to make a better future for the rest of mutants and stuff. And then we kind of cut to the Orcus scientists on the Forge, kind of regrouping. If we remember from House of X, the X-Men fucked that place up and destroyed the Mother Mold.
Hoxpox is what I've called it.
Hoxpox.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the Summer House mutant habitat, which is, I will have to say, this is really cool. He decided to build his mutant habitat on the moon, which I would totally do the same exact thing if I was in that situation. I mean, wouldn't you?
I just pulled the graphs up so you could look at it.
Oh, okay. But come on, really, on the moon, isn't that like? Wouldn't you want to have a house on the moon?
Well, that's kind of reminiscent of the Inhumans, isn't it?
Yeah. A little bit. I mean, it is also, part of that Krakoan lore of wherever you plant a flower, it'll grow the habitat and then be linked to the mainland back on Earth. So, I mean, literally, you could put one of these anywhere and have one of these habitats, which I just thought is. I thought it was cool that that you kind of see these different, like there was back in House of X, you had like the Jewish. God, I'm horrible. The one in Israel and Jerusalem.
Do I fire you? Is that what I do now?
You probably should for that one. But
goddamn
then
hiccups.
Then we have Wolverine bitching about how his steak is being cooked way too much.
Well, he wanted it rare, right?
Yeah.
And one of the Summers brothers was going on about the flame in his heart, and then offered it to him medium rare.
And then he says, "You son of a bitch." And then we just kind of we kind of get, it's a nice change of pace is kind of what I thought. You basically just have like a family barbecue basically with the Summers family and a few of their friends, which sure sounds kind of boring on the face of it, but anyone who's followed X-Men for a long time knows that before this Hickman reboot, they would have never gotten a chance to do something like this, right? Like, well, a Sentinel would show up and destroy it. Something would happen, like halfway through, and they would have to, do all this fighting. But I don't know. I thought it was a nice kind of reprieve, almost. Like you get to see Scott and Jean actually have like as normal as you can get in their situation, like family time. And I thought that was nice, personally. Oh, there's the ice.
You're not wrong. But one of the things that I noticed about this issue was there's literally no action sequence. Did you notice that?
Well, yeah. Well, in the beginning.
Is that an action sequence, though?
When they're storming Orcus?
No, that happened in House of X powers of X. There's no storming Orcus.
No, when Scott and Storm were taking down like the remainder of Orcus, like in one of their bases at the beginning. You have some action scenes in there.
You really don't.
I mean,
Like, when you look
I mean,
at
it's
the
not
actual
much, but
when you look at the actual pages, there's literally no real action happening.
yeah, I mean, that's fair. There's a bit.
Well, but these
You know, it's not what we're used to as far as X-Men action.
it's not an action sequence. Like, it's fucking hiccups, man. I goddamn hate them. I just drank a full glass of water. Didn't help. I've held my breath. But,
You yelled for like 20 minutes.
well, that's what gave me the hiccups, honestly. It's a diaphragm, like, bullshit or whatever. But I only look at the diaphragm as a birth control method.
Fair.
But even the the action sequences are poor, and that's my criticism of this book. Like, this is the action sequences that I've got up on screen now.
Yeah, I mean,
If that's what you've got, then what are you doing? Like, there's so much more to do with these characters. Fucking hiccups. There's so much more to do with these characters than this. But you have to kind of get Jesus fucking Christ. You have to kind of give credence to the relationship between Storm and Cyclops, because Cyclops is the fucking leader of the X-Men, and Storm is the leader of the X-Men after Cyclops realized he was a bitch. Am I wrong?
no.
But beyond that, one thing that you've got is at the end of the book that you didn't mention.
Right.
The humans have figured out a way to reanimate or revive themselves.
Yeah, which that crystal thing the chick scientist has, is that something we've seen before?
It
'Cause I
reminds
swear
me
that
of
looks
the
like some.
it reminds me of the Shi'ar crystal that the Phoenix Force first came from.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Couldn't remember what it was called. It has like a weird name, doesn't it?
I can't remember. The Mcron crystal or some shit.
Yeah, that.
If she left something in your home, she'll be back. But one thing that this does reveal right at the end, it is that unlike what we first suspected, these books, as of November, are going to start double shipping and triple shipping. And I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah.
So, you got that going for you.
I mean, some of them, part of it could just be like how the rotation of the weeks, but because it looks like they're not like all overlap, like it's not the same ones overlapping, like they seem to be like a couple different ones, but
Still, if you're wanting to
oh
keep
yeah,
up,
I'm not happy about it, but
well, if you want to keep up with the X-Men story, you've fucking hiccups. You got New Mutants and X-Force #1 coming out the same week now. You got Fallen Angels and X-Men #2 coming out the same week now. And then you got New Mutants, X-Force, and Fallen Angels all coming out on the same week.
there's at least $15 if you want to follow all of it. But
I don't even.
I mean, are there going to be many people though following all 5 of these titles?
I would have, but
Yeah. I mean, past like the 3rd issue, because I'm probably going to buy at least the up to the 2nd issue of each one, because I don't like to judge solely based off the first one, even though we just had a 12-issue series to kind of build up to everything, but still, But really, past the 3rd issue, I can't even if they were coming out just one every week, I couldn't imagine a ton of people buying all 5 series separately.
fuck no.
I mean
Mrs. Church in the chat. If the show comes to an abrupt end, it's because my husband flipped his desk. He really hates the hiccup that much. I do. And I can't fucking seem to get rid of them. Like, I've had my glass of water. I've been holding my breath. And I've had the hiccup for the last 20 minutes.
Oh, we only have a half hour left in the show.
Yeah, but if I flip my desk and destroy my laptop, there will be no more show. Period. Fucking shit!
Yeah.
Well, here's son of a bitch. I said, here's one final shot before I flip my desk over, destroy my laptop. Oh, Jesus Christ. I would literally sell my soul to never have the hiccups again. Like,
well,
my entire soul, not even half of it. Can you get Cecil on the line so I can sell my soul?
I mean, shouldn't there, being in Arkansas, you should be pretty close to the Mississippi Crossroads, where Robert Johnson sold his soul to be able to play guitar.
I can already play guitar.
Well, yeah, so go sell it to get rid of the hiccups.
I sold my soul to play guitar! I have to sell my soul somewhere else to get rid of the hiccups.
No, all right.
Anyway, we do have a couple more articles to cover.
Contact Alan Moore.
Choke him out, Mrs. Church. You and I will both feel better. Jesus Christ, Matt Christie. I love you, buddy. You're the best. He really is. So,
I love our chat.
we were talking about TV shows earlier when we talked about watching.
We were.
Right? Well,
we were.
So, I know my chat, and I know there are proclivities, but
That's putting it mildly.
well, oh my God! Shut the fuck
What
up!
the fuck?
Shut the fuck up! I don't want to hear your goddamn video.
What the
So,
fuck is that?
Patton Oswalt joins Amazon's The Boys Season 2 in secret role. I swear to God, if they make him love sausage, I'm going to be pissed.
Oh God. No, don't do that.
So,
Love Sausage needs to be like Pierce Brosnan. Or like,
no. It needs to be the Big Show now that he's ripped. Also, the hiccups are gone now.
there. All right.
If 10-second breath holding don't work, go up to 20 seconds. Failing that, start at 10 again. The hiccups need their rhythm broken. No, apparently I just had to drink more liquor. I wasn't drinking enough liquor. Novel, bro.
Well,
That
exactly.
was,
That's
yeah,
the
well.
cure for everything, isn't it?
God damn it, I hope not. My liver can't handle that. But the comedian actor has joined season 2 of the acclaimed Amazon Prime series in a secret role. Series showrunner Eric
Actor, quote unquote.
yeah, shitty comedian with really bad takes on Twitter. Like, honestly, I think we need to bring back treason laws. That's just me.
Well, we
Because
wouldn't have a Congress anymore. And I'm kind of okay with that.
I stand beside my original statement. Eric Kripke made an announcement on Thursday via Twitter sharing a selfie of himself and Oswald with the caption, "Thank you, Patton Oswalt, that was amazing." The Boys, hailing from Supernatural creator Kripke, is based on the comic by Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson. His critically praised first season, viewers were introduced to a world where the Seven, a corrupt group of superheroes based on the Justice League, everybody, led by the sociopathic Homelander, fight crime and carefully managed photo ops. The Boys, led by Carl Urban's Billy Butcher, who is nothing like the namesake character, were tasked by the government with keeping the superhumans in check, but they were ultimately disbanded and went rogue. Also, not true. Matt Christie, if there's a rope involved, I'm a little concerned, but just get me a red priest, it'll be fine. Fans are already speculating that Oswald will portray the Legend, a former comic book writer. If they let fucking Oswald portray the Legend, which is supposed to be the Boys' version of Stan Lee, I swear to fucking God, I will burn everything that I can in Minecraft.
I mean, it's better than him portraying Love Sausage, though.
No, it isn't. It's him portraying Stan fucking Lee. If I wanted an SJW portraying Stan Lee, I'd let Kevin Smith do it. I said it.
Yeah.
Fucking take me to goddamn court. Anyway. No, if they let him portray the fucking Legend, I'd be pissed the fuck off is what I'd be. He's also played a variety of roles in comic adaptations and recently voiced Uncle Ben in the Amazing Spider-Man TV series starring Sci-Fi's Happy, which is based on the comics by Grant Morrison. Let's not forget Garth Blunden, one of Oswald's most memorable scholarly geek-type roles in Parks and Recreation, who improvised the Star Wars filibuster. Patton Oswalt and his goddamn social justice bullshit. Oswalt joins timeless actors Goran Vincent and Claudia Dumet as newcomers on The Boys Season 2. So basically, they butted us up with a decent first season, and then they're going to pepper it with SJW bullshit in Season 2.
Ugh. I had a bad feeling that was going to happen.
I'm not okay with it. Like, first off, everybody praised the first season, including myself. I'm not innocent of this. Everyone praised the first season for being brutally honest to the adaptation.
Yeah.
And then they do some shit like this. Like, why? What the fuck does Patton Oswalt have to do with The Boys? First off, he doesn't look like the legend in the comics. But then again, neither does Wee Huey, right? But at least he acts the same in the fucking books.
Right.
Like, there's never a bomb shoved up somebody's ass in the comic books. But it's funny.
It's probably my favorite scene from the show.
Absolutely. It's a decent scene.
And my dad's favorite, too.
Oh. Wait, you didn't tell me about Papa McCartney's views on The Boys Season 1.
Yeah, well, he watched it, I don't know, probably a week or two after we did the show. Like, I went over to see them, and he was watching it, and then we were talking about it.
Wait, are Mama and Papa McCartney possibly watching the show? Should I apologize?
No,
okay.
They're both definitely asleep.
No. I mean, not literally watching this particular show. I mean, do they watch the replays? Good. Okay.
No.
Why not?
I don't think anybody. I don't know. Because no one else in my family really cares about comics.
Look, they should support their familias, okay?
Yeah.
Mama and Papa McCartney, I'm telling you right now, I asked Ayrton to tell you about this show, and I apologize for all of my previous, I don't know, bastardizations of linguistics, and I apologize for all of my uncouth dialect to this point. I'm still going to do it, and I personally am still a motherfucker, but he calls in through a rotary phone, and it's not his fault. He's the good one. I totally do not fire. I totally do not fire him every episode for being a cuck.
My mom did really like that banner that you sent, though.
Which banner? Oh, the one
the mini banner. Yeah, the background.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, she thought that was cool.
Oh,
no,
shit.
my younger cousin wanted to watch it, and she's
and
like,
"Is it appropriate?"
I was like, no. Yeah,
99999.
He should not watch it.
Did you do the Hitler 99999?
Almost.
You should have. Well, my thoughts on X-Men. First off, like, the idea of humans being able to be consecrated into crystals. Like, I feel like that shits on the idea of mutants being able to be regrown through Gold Balls' eggs. Like, I'm not okay with that. Yeah. Secondly, this issue is kind of trash. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that you have to wait about a month for the next issue of X-Men, the fact that there are 5 different series that are going to start prior to this. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's bad. This is, like, yeah, this gives you a look into Magneto and Storm and Cyclops' relationship with one another. And the fact that Magneto doesn't hate his dad anymore, and the fact that the Forge is still operational. And now Corsair, who is not a mutant, by the way, Cyclops, Havix, and I don't remember what their brother's name is. Also, there seem to be trappings of a lesbian relationship in this comic book, which I didn't quite understand.
Vulcan is the other one.
Is that the one with the fire in his heart?
Yeah.
Because he didn't have that power in Age of Apocalypse. I'm just saying. But there's also trappings of a lesbian relationship in this comic book that I don't quite understand from 2 mutants who aren't named.
Between who?
The all-white mutant, the one with the white hair and white skin, and the red-headed with the tiger stripes.
Oh.
But they seem to be in a lesbianic relationship. Novel bro. Ayrton's bro. Do you want any new listeners? Ayrton, do you want Total War? I mean, that's what I ask my coworkers when they ask what we're doing. Nothing you'll be interested in. Novel bro. Matt Berry is a god among men. Changed my mind. Oh, wait. It's further down. Alright, get your fucking rope. I'll get my stupid fucking rope. That's a great movie. When your girl is crazy and she finds your side chick taking selfies with duct tape, Danielle Griffith.
Are they being degenerate in the Discord again?
Always. That's what the Discord is for. By the way, join the Discord. Should I put a new invite link? That's what I'm
Yeah. Oh, Matt Christie. That is one of my favorite office pranks of all time.
What's that?
Short of taking a can of Febreze, zip tying the trigger, and then throwing it in someone's office, and then pulling the door closed real quick.
There's a link to the Discord for anybody who doesn't have it. It'll expire in a few hours.
Did I ever tell you about the one time somebody at work accidentally made mustard gas?
Oh, with the bleach and ammonia?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I was like, what the hell are you doing? And then one of the other employees is half Jewish, so I always make jokes. I was like, are you trying to kill him?
Well, Novel Bro, much like the wrenches, the Discord is going to be limited to patrons going forward, dollar patrons and above from now on. Anybody who's currently in it and anybody who catches an invite on the show is, welcome. But other than that, I'm going to pull it out of the description, and it's going to be a dollar Patreon thing going forward, because when we shit on creators like we did Liefeld, and when we shit on million subscriber channels like we did Comics Explained, I can't abide an open Discord.
Yeah, probably a bad idea.
I mean, I can, and, that's what free speech is about, but, if I wanted to get shit on, I would just, comment directly to his thread and tag him in the tweet where we were making fun of the shitty tweet that he did. And it's not because I'm a pussy that I don't tag him. I don't want anybody that follows me to harass the guy. and I don't want his 2 million plus subscriber count and Twitter following to shit on this show and flag me off of YouTube. So
Right.
that's what we've got going for us. By the way,
Which
you know, I haven't. I looked, and I haven't found more instances of him being a bitch like he was when he wanted to get rid of the local comic store. But
huh.
you know, that is cuckold behavior in and of itself, and I can't just let that pass me by. So
Yeah. Let's
I
come on,
feel
Rob.
like,
Come on the show. Let's talk this out.
hey, Rob, absolutely, you're absolutely welcome. Nobody but my fan base will hear it. You don't even have to like promote it on your show. I won't promote it to your following. You can just come on. We'll have a conversation. I'll ask you why you think comic shops aren't important. I'll get super drunk and forget what the whole show is about. We'll end up talking about a comic series we both like. It'll be great.
Yeah.
I still got a couple articles we should talk about before Nick Ricada goes live with the Big Brain Panel. We got 15 minutes left.
All right. It's enough time to get through one of them.
Both of them, I think. I didn't pull any super long articles.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we'll start with the most important, and then we'll move on to the one that I can shit on a little better. So, one of our patrons has suggested that we look at Bone, and we're definitely going to do that because Bone is a fantastic series. But Netflix has acquired the rights for Bone.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I think it might be a decent fit if they find a decent animating team. Streaming giant Netflix Incorporated, NFLX stock market, has announced that it secured the rights to Jeff Smith's critically acclaimed comic book series Bone. Netflix says it plans to develop an animated kid series based on Bone. It follows the iconic Bone cousins on an adventure through the vast, uncharted desert and into a mysterious valley filled with wonderful and terrifying creatures. Waited a long time for this, Smith said. Netflix is a perfect home for Bone. Fans of the book knows what the story develops chapter by chapter and book by book. An animated series is exactly the way to do this. I disagree, but I don't have money, so it doesn't matter what I disagree with. The team at
Do a cave
Netflix
painting series.
The team, fuck you. The team at Netflix understands Bone and is committed to doing something special. This is good news for kids and cartoon lovers all over the world. Kids and pedophiles is what they're saying. I mean, you know, cartoon lovers.
Yeah. Right.
Bone has been published in over 30 countries since 1991 with 8 million copies sold in North America alone. It is among Time Magazine's 10 best graphic novels of all times and winner of more than 40 national and international publishing awards, including Eisner Awards, Harvey Awards, and the French Alf Art Awards. So, Bone potentially coming to Netflix. Doesn't make me mad. I like the concept.
Yeah, I don't know.
Elias in the chat saying, but Netflix ruins everything. You're not wrong, brother.
Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it.
I mean, but I think it's kind of hard to fuck up Bone. just to be fair, I think it's kind of hard to fuck up Bone. Also, you don't work tomorrow, do you?
Oh, I do.
Oh, do you? You son of a
Yep,
bitch.
work until probably next Wednesday.
Okay. Well, wait, you work Sunday?
Yeah,
Go fuck yourself. We have to do videos this
Like-
weekend at some point.
like I said, I'm literally working every single fucking day. That's why I was like, God damn it, I have to go in on both my days off.
We do have to do at least 1 or 2 videos this weekend.
All right.
I mean, I'll send you the comics that we have to review. You can read them on your lunch break or whatever. You can read them before the
Yeah.
show. We'll go live in a private stream a little bit earlier, but whatever. I'm excited for the commentary. Commentary on what, Elias? Us reviewing the show? I mean, yeah, but they'll find a way to fuck it up. I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to fuck up Bone. Like, they're gonna have to try really hard. But that's just my take on it. But yeah.
Life finds a way.
Well, we
God,
do
we need a
have
soundboard.
we do have one more article to cover, and I named this article based on its title, but it's from the New York Times, and it says Superman speaks his truth, and I added question mark or Brian Michael Bendis ruining another legacy character. So we'll
Or both
I mean, why not both?
at this point.
Do a change right around the corner. What will it mean for the hero, his world, and his fans? Brian Michael Bendis explains. First off, anytime Brian Michael Bendis has to explain something, you don't want it. Let me explain that as a fan of comics since Marvel Knights became a thing. You know why Jessica Jones had such a rapey overtone? It was Brian Michael Bendis' fault.
Ugh.
The Man of Steel will go through
he's
changes in
the
December that will ripple through the DC universe. Approach with caution, comic book fans, because Great Krypton! There are spoilers ahead. When issue number 18 of Superman arrives in stores on December 11th, the hero will be going public about his alter ego. Fuck all that. Oh, Captain Weeb, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for
What's up,
thanks for
Captain?
stopping by. Let's make sure we have this. So, Superman has been around since 1938, which, let me just do some quick math here. 70, 80 years in comics as of last year.
Oh, that's it?
So it's hard to imagine something that has not been done, including revealing his secret identity. In 1991, he told Lois Lane, which seemed to be fair, that she and Clark Kent were engaged. In 2015, Lois wrote a front-page Daily Planet story that revealed Superman's secret. Comic book shenanigans later erased that knowledge from the general population of the DC universe. On some level, this is what DC brought me here for, said Brian Michael Bendis, who is writing Superman and Action Comics, among other DC books. Fuck all that.
Is it like a race between Marvel and DC to see who can go bankrupt first?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
what
think,
it seems like.
I think IDW is rushing to beat them to it. He was referring to his departure from Marvel, DC Comics' rival, in 2017. He began working on Superman titles last year, juggling space adventures, the inner workings of the Daily Planet, and how Lois and Clark related to their son Jonathan in his preteen teenage years. I didn't want to stir things up right away, he said. I had to earn my place.
Oh, jeez.
What's the catch? Comic book fans are cynical about what the types of events. Preview information about Superman number 18 noted the hero would reveal his identity, but it was met with little fanfare on comics news or social media, possibly because readers assume the development will be temporary. Newsarama, a comics news site with a link, noted in an article last month that the 2015 story covered similar ground, but another site, Bleeding Cool, not Bleeding Fool, which is a good one, predicted the sharp twist of events. Let me lean into this a little bit, because I'm with you on that, Bendis said on the telephone interview, when asked about fan skepticism. I don't do fake-out stories. If anything, he added, some fans familiar with this work might be worried about long-term ramifications. It is a story where Daredevil was outed. A different kind of outing. But that was the reality for 15 years. When Daredevil's identity was revealed to the public, it caused a lot of grief for his alter ego, Matt Murdock. Superman being honest about his identity, Bendis said, will bring him closer to being the best version of himself. Wrong. What's the Trump? How does Trump say it? Wrong.
Wrong.
Wrong. It also opens up areas of exploration, he said. We wanted to do this because behind it is 1,000 brand new Superman stories that have never been told. What about the one where he switches places with Bruce Wayne? You can tell that story again, you piece of shit. Fuck you and your fucking fuck. Bendis said that
He
he
just
and
loves
some
himself, doesn't he?
He loves himself and his adoptive cuck daughter. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? Bendis absolutely is not a cuckold and is not raising someone else's child right now. He does not have a black daughter that he inserts into every fucking continuity that he enters into. Definitely not the case. Bendis said that he and some of his fellow DC Comics writers, including Matt Fraction and Greg Rucka, pulling out the big guns, are already hundreds of story pages in. 2 special Superman issues are coming in January, and will begin to show how far-reaching this event is. Thank you, doll.
Ooh.
Is this because of Lois? Can Clark still work as a reporter? When Bendis took over Superman, he came up with a story involving the ill-timed photograph of Lois, who is married to Clark, kissing Superman. The public gave Superman a pass, but had a lot of scorn for Lois, considering her unfaithful. I had another destination in mind, but this was a better solution, Bendis said. Basically, the idea that I was working on didn't work out. The ruckus over this photograph, he said, caused Superman to wonder, who was he lying to protect? Who did not already know that Lois was an important part of his life? Which journalists would not have a super hearing to better listen to the public conversation and the telescopic vision to observe a scene? And while most people will trust Clark to play by the rules, the more suspicious members of the public, we're looking at you, Lex Luthor, will assume that he will use his X-ray vision to access information that no other reporter could. Excellent question, said Bendis. And I promise you, this is the first thing that Greg Rucka stormed up to me with when he started working on this. Answers will start to arrive in January. Let's see. It is October. That's 3 months away. I don't know. You guys are pretty tight with Rob Liefeld, right? Like, didn't it take him 6 years to deliver on something that he promised? But
Oh yeah, we mentioned that the other night.
we might have talked about it for a second or two.
Yeah.
But anyway, Elias says Superman is a puck chucker. Bruce Wayne is an asset. Weeb says I don't believe you. Autocorrect CT my only weakness. With that though, I will let everyone know that right now Nick Rekieta has gone live with a big brain panel over on his channel, Rekieta Law Explaining the Interwebs.
Oh shit.
Should I link that in the chat? I should do that, right? I'm a good person. Has he even gone live yet? I don't even see a link. I know I'm
Probably
subscribed to him. Why the fuck is he always late and gay? This is bullshit.
Because that's his thing. Like mine is bad audio.
Yeah, but we fixed your audio within the first 10 minutes. Motherfucker can't even be on time. Oh, wait, no, it's here. It's here.
Oh.
Oh, but he's already late and gay. And Drex is going to be on the stream, supposedly. Apostrophos is there. We don't know that Stephen Birch is.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh. Let's see. The SJW Spidey sense is tingling. Wally West donated $1 to tell us that Barry Allen sucks balls. Well, he did die for 18 years, which is huge in comics terms, Captain Weep. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that anyone else knows this, but when you die for 18 years, you're basically dead forever. So, any Barry Allen comics never took place because he was dead for 18 fucking years. But we definitely thank Wally West for that dollar donation. And we hope PayPal will confirm our bank account so we can actually accept these donations from Wally West and Church's biggest fan and Captain Weeb and Ayrton is better than Church. All of those accounts. However, while we wait on the big brain panel to go live, let's give a shout out to our patrons, shall we?
Yeah. the crazy motherfuckers that decide to donate to us.
That is correct. Hey, I love all of them. So.
Oh, they're great, but they're still crazy.
Oh, they're the best. Oh my god. Why is it so hard to actually see who our patrons are? Okay. So far, we've got Arkenis, Captain Weeb, Danielle, Erica, Matt, and SJW Spidey. So we want to give all of you a special thank you for, helping the show be possible, donating and believing in us. We will have your videos coming out soon. They're, it's really Ayrton's fault that we don't even have them yet. So I blame him. Why the fuck isn't goddamn... Come on, brackets. You're 4 minutes late? That's basically late and gay. That's not even late and by. But anyway, this is you guys' weekly shout out. Arcanis, Captain Weeb, Daniel, Danielle, Erica, Matt, and SJW Spidey. Everybody who helped make the show possible. Everybody who next month is going to make the podcast site possible.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got some stuff coming.
What we're going to
Because
do,
your guys' help.
and I don't mean to do this out of order, but marketing being what it is, I'm going to go through. I'm going to upload the highest viewed shows first because money being what it is. But everybody who's donated to the show, we really appreciate it. We never expected anyone to actually appreciate the bullshit that we were doing. And the fact that you guys do and have maintained such a fantastic relationship with us, we're taking it back. At least personally, I am. Ayrton might be a conceited piece of shit.
Yeah, I can.
But conceited, not conceited.
No, I can't believe people want to give us money to listen to our drunk asses talk about shit for
My
2
drunk
hours
ass.
several times a week.
My drunk ass. But, who says anything about that? But, see you lads over on Racket Stream, absolutely. Tardy and Fruity. Don't forget to update your channel page to remove the Discord link. 18 years, an entire comic generation. Perhaps even 2 gens. That's correct. But still, late game muted, as Racket says. Everybody get over there. I'm sure he's going to go live in the next 4 minutes. So, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for indulging us and my hiccups. And we will see you tomorrow night for Watchmen, the review.
Or Gilbert, if he gets back to us.
Well, we're going to make Gilbert review Watchmen with us. I'm sure he's read Watchmen.
We'll just do that then.
Anyway, thanks everybody, and have a great night.
Good night, everybody.